Before watching this video, you should watch part 1 of this series if you haven't already. The surface tool is for selecting one of 8 types of surfaces. You can select which side you want to change in the side tab. These surfaces are smooth, which doesn't do much. It is the default surface that can only stick to welded surfaces. Studs, which can determine a measurement of parts by their size and distance. They can be connected to inlet, universal, and welded surfaces. Inlets, which are the opposite of studs. If they are on a surface of a stud surface, it will connect with the part. Weld, which can connect to any part by touching it. Hinge, which can rotate objects that are connected to it. This, however, can only work if the connected part is unanchored. This surface type can be controlled if it is connected to a vehicle seat. Motors, which can make movable joints between 2 parts. I was unable to find much about motors, but a link will be provided in the sources below for more info. Universal, which can connect to both inlets and stud surfaces. And glue, which connects to any part, similar to weld. The weld tool is for connecting 2 or more parts together, whether or not they are physically touching. When you weld 2 parts together, they won't make an invisible bind together, meaning that they will move with each other when unanchored. To remove these welds, simply press the break welds button. To undo actions, you can either press undo or preferably use the shortcut Ctrl-Z. To redo, you can press the button or use Ctrl-Y. To delete, you press the delete button or use Ctrl-X. And to clone, you can press the clone button or use Shift-C. However, I personally use Ctrl-D when working in Studio. The Explorer tool is for finding a part that is in a workplace. It is useful for finding specific objects that may be in a group or for selecting a part that is locked. Exporting is for exporting builds from a game in Studio. For this to work, the import tool must be installed first by simply searching up in the plugins tab in the toolbox. To export your build, select the parts that you want selected and then click the export button or use Shift-P. After you get the ID, go into Studio and turn the plugin on. Type the given ID into the box afterwards. Now to the tips. Tip number 1. Building a basic wall. To build a basic wall, you should first build your base wall. This will be the primary part. Then you can build the first baseboard. This is optional, but it can help make your build more detailed. It is built by duplicating the base wall, decreasing the height, and making it slightly thicker, which is around 0.05 studs. Then, you want to build your primary baseboard. This will be the main board of the whole wall that you are making. This is built by following the same steps of the first board, but it should be shorter and thicker than the first. Now you will build the borders. This can be easily done by duplicating the primary board and then decreasing the width and increasing the height. Move the part horizontally to the edge of the base wall. To build the top part, simply duplicate one of the borders and then move and rotate or size it accordingly. Finally, color and texture it properly. The base wall should have its own color and material, and so should the first board. However, the primary board and border should both have the same color and material. Tip number 2. Use proper textures and colors. To properly texture your builds, use materials that go along well with the parts. It should pop out enough to where it's detailed, but not too much to where it's excessive or bright. For coloring, try to be creative with saturation and darkness. I use the 2 to make colors less bright by typically decreasing the saturation slightly more than darkness. And finally, tip number 3. Use proper lighting. You'll be able to select 1 of 3 lighting options: spot, point, and surface. For spotlights, it can be used for lighting that is needed on a specific place. An example would, well, be a spotlight on a stage. Duh. For point lights, it can be used for large objects that might need an output light everywhere. It is helpful for setting a base light for a whole area or for an open light source. And for surface lights, it can be used for lighting that may be pointing towards a certain direction. Ceiling lights are an obvious example of this. Now here's a photo that involves every lighting element. The UFO is using a spotlight, the lamppost is using a point light, and a surface light behind the camera is being used to light up the characters. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed this detailed tutorial. I hope you were able to learn something new or found a new solution to a problem with this video. Sources will be provided in the description for more information. If you have any questions or suggestions, please leave them in the comments below. I'll respond to them as quickly as possible. Oh, and sorry I uploaded a little late. I got a little busy with outside work. I'll be posting another video next week and I'm sure you'll love it. Have a Merry Christmas everyone, and I wish everyone a Happy New Year. I'll be busy with the party on Tuesday. Anyways, see you next video.